All right, it's time to spend another 5 minutes with one of my good friends. This time, Mike Martinez joins us. Mike, how you doing?
What's up, Eric? How you doing? Pretty good, considering.
Yep, same. We're all hanging in there. All right, what's the topic going to be today?
We're gonna talk about old games we're watching during the quarantine time. Because I've been on old games for a long time, but a lot of people are coming in and watching old games because that's the only thing that's on. Unless you like to watch professional athletes play video games, which I'll probably leave on the table. So watching old games is kind of what how I'm getting my sports fix.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that video game front. All right, let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. We'll start with things that I've been looking out for. I think uh, the biggest thing that I've been looking forward to is watching games that I was excited to watch when they happened. And then whenever I see one that I don't want to watch again, getting disappointed. So I would, for our two examples, the NBA Finals, 2008, Game 6. I was all about it. 2010, Game 7, you were all about it.
Yep.
So, I watched one, avoided the other.
Yep, no doubt about it. 2008. I watched that game like on the replay that night, the night it happened, and was so frustrated when it happened. And then basically I saw the replay that night and was like, we had Sasha Vujacic and Vlad Radmanovic defending Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. That wasn't going to lead anywhere good. So by 2010, they added Ron Artest, and kind of that's how they made the jump from being, well, we could play in the finals to, hey, we could beat a great team with three Hall of Famers. Got to have defense.
Hey, it wins championships. We talk about all that all the time. The other thing that I look forward to is seeing other games that I had zero rooting interest in. The other day I was watching the 1995 ALDS. It was Game 5, Yankees-Mariners, right? Remember that 11-inning
Game.
And watching Griffey just swing that bat in the playoffs. That was a fun game to watch. A little lengthy, but, it was fun to watch.
And the young Griffey could really run. I mean, he made that book from first base. Edgar Martinez hits it down in the corner, and there goes Griffey to score the winning run. Yeah, I do remember watching that game live. Every once in a while, I'll see it in a documentary or something, because they did that Seattle '95 on MLB Network, and then watch it live, with Musburger's call and Griffey, and pretty crazy stuff, considering that the next great team was not the Mariners, it was the Yankees. The Yankees ended up going on to win all those championships.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
It's not for everybody.
What what games are you looking forward to watch? Have you seen anything lately that's caught your eye?
Yeah, when I talk about old games, there's a couple ways I like to watch them. The games you get excited about, your own team. Also to kind of see the mechanics of how things developed, especially when you watch a great series like the 2000 Colts Patriots. They had the '03 AFC Championship, and New England is so much more physical. And then a couple years later, you see Indianapolis, and they have physical players that could win in the trenches, and how they made little adjustments, the way they ran the ball against certain defenses and stuff like that, and basically went from being a good team to being a championship team. And you could go through the history, you kind of know what to look for and kind of slow it down. I'll of course watch it like a coach's clicker. I go back with the DVR clicker, or I know the shortcuts on the YouTube videos. So
Right.
back 5 seconds and then you see it play again. Because one of the things about the old games, if you go back to like the 70s and 80s, they don't show you all the replays that we get now. Like
Right.
on a Sunday night game, you're going to get like 4 replays almost every play. Definitely 2 and maybe sometimes 4 for a really big play.
Yeah, there was no replay of the Immaculate Reception when it happened.
No.
Not till later.
Right. So, you have to sometimes I'm watching old games because I'm in a Facebook group that we do that. That's what kind of nerd I am, So we watch games live, and I'm waiting for a replay, and you can't go back because you're watching on Facebook Live, and I'm waiting for a replay. What happened? Let me go back and see that play again. Another thing I look for is like great matchups, like Hall of Famer type matchups. If you're watching offensive line play, you might be looking for like Charles Haley or real impact players. What did Dion do? What did, I'm a Raider fan. So back in the day, Art Shell facing Fred Dean of the Chargers. What did they do against each other that day? Okay, what did they do against each other the next time they played? Because all those little matchups kind of add up to victory and then add up to a Hall of Fame career. If you watch the mid-'90s Cowboys, every game John Madden's talking about Charles Haley. And I'm like, Charles Haley, was he really that great? And you're like, yeah, he was really that great. How come it took him so long to get in the Hall of Fame? So you're kind of looking for those things, and players that really had an impact on the game every game. That's where the Hall of Famers kind of stand out when you watch these old games.
I'm glad you mentioned Charles Haley. He was one of my guys from back in the day. A guy who played a lot of his NFL career in the region that's depicted behind you right now.
Yeah.
So you made a good choice.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And man, fought through a lot of injuries. When you see that guy walking around, he's can hardly walk because he's got all these back surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
But you guess you forget about that when you watch them as young people.
Yep, that's true. All right, we went a couple seconds over, but I think that's fine. I think everyone can forgive us. We clocked in at about 5:02.
We could have gone for 20 minutes.
When you and I start talking football, we could do another 4 hours.
Or you could have muted me like Tony Reale.
Hey, there's an idea for maybe a future episode of 5 minutes.
Good, tall, good-looking Italian guy. I'm sure you appreciate the comparison.
Oh, I do. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Mike. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.